Hi, welcome to the Squarebit Safety video demo. In this demo, we're going to look at Squarebit Safety from the perspective of a brand new company account. So here I've logged in as the administrator of this brand new company. The first thing I want to do is go and activate some forms, because if I go to my assignments down here, you'll see that there's no company forms yet. So I can either click this link or go to Forms and click on Manage. All right. So here's a list of all of the Squarebit forms that are provided out of the box. You can also create your own custom forms as well. For now, what I'm going to do is turn on all of these. All right, cool. So now when we click on my assignments, you'll see that we have access to all of these unassigned forms. Great. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to create a couple of simple custom forms. Let's do that now. I'm going to go to the form builder, create add new. And under the form settings here, I'm going to call this custom form 1. I'll publish it and I'll add the fields full name and signature. Great. I've now created a custom form. I'm going to create another one. And click save. Great. Now I've got two custom forms. Now that we've activated forms in the company, now's a great time to create some assignments. But at the moment, we don't have any other users in our company. So let's go invite some now. Here we have the option to select the user type and role. And you can see as we change these things that the permissions available to that particular role appear below. I'll just enter an email and send a few invites. Here you can see the new pending invite. Let's add a few other users as well. Perfect. I've now invited 3 people to my company. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to fast forward ahead to where they've accepted their invitations. And just like that, all of those invites have been accepted. You can see here we have 2 staff members and 1 contractor. All right, so now let's go create some assignments. To do that, I'll go to Assignments and Manage. Click on Add New. Here I can select the assignees for this particular assignment. I can select individuals or I can select all. And now I'll select the form for this assignment. And finally, we have the options for the frequency. We have the options between daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, or once. And I'm going to select daily here. And then for daily, you have the option to select which days of the week. In this case, I'm going to leave it on weekdays. And there we go, create an assignment. You can see since I've included myself in this assignment, we're now seeing an assignments badge indicating how many assignments I have due today. So if I click here, we can see that I have a custom form assignment and I've completed 0 of 1 today. Cool. Let's create another assignment. This time I'm only going to assign it to John and Sue. And we're going to do custom form 2. And I'm going to do this one weekly. And let's say twice weekly. And let's do it on a Tuesday. Great. Now, if I wanted to go in here, I can update an existing assignment and say increase the frequency like that. And if we look here, we can see that the assignment has been upgraded, indicating that I have 2 to complete today. All right, so in order to look at reports and audit, we'll have to have some assignments completed. So for now, we're going to move on to the files section and get back to those later. All right, so I'm going to add a company safety policy document here. So let's do that. Perfect. Now, through the magic of editing, I'm going to switch to one of the other staff accounts. All right, so now I'm logged back in as John D, who is a worker role at the company. And as a worker, you can see that I have access to a limited number of options in the sidebar. And if we look here, we can see that we have 3 outstanding assignments today. So if I click here, I can see that custom form 1 has 2 due today and custom form 2 has 1 due today. All right. And now if we look on our dashboard, we can see that we have this My Assignments calendar. So here we can see a weekly view. So we can see that on Monday, which is past, I had 2 entries assigned to me for the custom form 1, which I did not complete. And then on Tuesday, which is today, I have custom form 2. I have a single entry that's due today, and then that other assignment for custom form 1, which is all weekdays, 2 entries. All right, so this is a perfect opportunity to show you what applying for an assignment exemption looks like, since as you can see here, I have missed my assignment on Monday. Let's quickly go over the calendar key. So blue here is incomplete, yellow is partially completed, green is complete, green with lines is exempt, red is missed, and red with lines is an exemption that was rejected. So let's say I was sick yesterday, which is why I haven't been able to complete this assignment. What I can do is I can click on that assignment and it'll open up a window to create a new assignment exemption. So here I can see that the assignment was custom form 1, which is a daily 2 times assignment for weekdays. And it was on this particular date that I'm applying for an exemption. I'm going to say sick or unavailable and submit. Okay. And now we can see that that's been updated and I have an exempt assignment for that day. Now, later on, we're going to look at how managers can audit these exemptions and reject them if they're incorrect. All right, so now that we've covered adding an assignment exemption, let's look at completing an assignment. All right, so judging from the calendar, it's Tuesday and we have 2 assignments, 1 entry for custom form 2 and 2 entries for custom form 1. Let's go and complete custom form 2 since there's only 1 entry required. All right, so here's that form that we created. I'm going to fill out the name and add some random text here. And you can see I have the option to add another line. And here I can select other team members to put in there and then add some text there as well. And for this demo, let's save this as a draft. Drafts can be found in the recent entries menu. And from here, we can pick up on this form at any point in the day where we've left off. Say we weren't ready to submit the form or we needed somebody's signature. That's a perfect opportunity to create a draft. All right, so it's later in the day now, and I want to submit this form entry. I'm going to click on this draft and submit. Here I have the opportunity to share this entry with other team members. Let's say there's an assignment that has been assigned to both me and somebody else. In this case, I believe Sue and I have the same assignment. So I'm going to share this entry with Sue since she was on a job site with me. I'm going to share this entry, and boom. Looks like we've just completed our custom form 2 assignment for today. Fantastic. You can see now that my assignment indicator has been updated from 3 to 2. So we go in here, we can see that this assignment's now been completed, and we still have 2 entries required for custom form 1. Let's complete those right now. And let's submit. Boom. And just like that, we've completed another assignment. Of course, at any point in your day, you can click on Assignments, click on Unassigned Forms, and create an entry for any form available to your company. This is for situations throughout the day where you need to complete a form that wasn't necessarily assigned to you. A perfect example is an incident report. And now for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to log in as our other users and complete their form entries. All right, so now I've logged back in as our admin user. And if we scroll down in our dashboard, in our recent form entries, we can see that all our team members have completed entries for today. The next thing I want to look at is auditing form entries. So let's do that. Here we can see all of the entries that were submitted today. And I can go and view those entries individually and make sure that they were completed correctly. I also have the ability to select all the entries at once and do a bulk audit. So what we'll do here is select all of these except for those completed by John D. And we'll mark these as audited. Okay, you can see that these now are the only ones that haven't been audited. And so for these, I'm going to reject these 2, and I'm going to say for demo reasons. All right, so now I've audited all of these. You can see that these bubbles are now hollow, which means I've completed the audit. You can see that in the status here, audited, rejected, and so on. So that's the entries auditing process. Now let's look at auditing exemption requests. As you can see here, we can see that both Sue and John requested exemptions for July 1st for different reasons. And Sue said that she was unscheduled on that day. And in fact, I checked the calendar and she was scheduled. So what I'm going to go do here is I'm going to view this exemption and I'm going to reject it. All right, so that exemption has been rejected and I've provided some details. I would like to mention that we have the ability to do individual or bulk audits here as well. And I'm going to select here and I'm just going to mark this one audited, which means that I've reviewed it and it's okay. So John was sick that day. I remember taking his phone call. All right, so now that we've completed our auditing, we can go and generate some compliance reports. So to do that, let's go to the report section here. And here we can set up a date range for our report. I'm just going to leave this here at the default, which is the current week. And then I can select the users that I want to be involved in this report. So I'm going to select everyone. And for forums, I'm going to select all forums. You have the option to include unaudited as well as audited. But since I've audited all the entries, I'm going to check this off. All right, and then let's generate a report. Okay, so here's our report. We can see that John D, for this period, had 5 entries due for custom form 1. And according to the audit, he's completed 0. And that's because we rejected 2 of his entries. And actually here, because we have this exemption, his requirement would have been 6. But because we have that exemption, it reduces his requirement down to 5. And then we rejected 2 of his entries. And so that means that he still has all of them required and he has not completed any of them. Any reports that you generate can be downloaded as CSV files, which can be opened up in any spreadsheet software. Okay, so that's reports. We also have the ability to see a quick report from the dashboard. So if we go show, it'll create a quick report for all of the assignments for the week up until this point. Great. Now let's log back in as one of the users that had some exemptions or entries rejected. In fact, I'm going to quickly make some changes to John D just so that we can see all the different scenarios with that one user. All right, so now I'm logged back in as John D, and we can see here that even though I completed my assignments earlier today, I now see that I have 2 outstanding assignments, and those are for custom form 1. And if I go to my recent entries section here, we can see that those 2 entries I made earlier today were rejected. So that's why we're seeing that assignment requirement. Also, if I go to my exemptions here, we can see that the exemption that I submitted for Monday has also been rejected for demo reasons. Interesting. All right, so the last thing I want to review here is the Learn section. So under Learn, we have access to safety topics, and we're always adding new items to this section here. Here you can find common safety topics like safety glasses, high visibility apparel, and so on. We also have an app training section. The app training section is where you'll find tutorial videos on how to use Squarebit Safety. We'll be adding new videos here as we introduce new features. All right, this concludes our demo of Squarebit Safety. Thanks for watching.